Hey everyone, Jamie here with another video, and today I want to take some time and I want to see if we can use the new Fable 5 model that's available until June 22nd. On this day being June 12th, got about 10 days left to really leverage this model and see what it can really do. I want to take the model and then I want to see if it can take our current company website, which is very outdated and on WordPress, not too bad with branding, but I want to see if it can actually rebuild this thing 20 times better. And so obviously there are a lot of ways to create websites with Claude, and there's many different skills, tools, plugins, extensions, things like that that you can use to leverage the build. But first, what I want to do is actually just ask it and provide it with files. So here are images I took, like screenshots of the site, every single section. I've had a lot of success with this with other models because you are literally giving it the blueprint of the exact site that you're looking to build. And I've actually rebuilt other sites before using this, so it's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use Whisperflow to speak to Claude, and I'm going to ask it to remake this site so much better and clearer. So let's do that right now. So I used a very, very different prompt. I'm going to actually add one more thing to it because it's missing something here. I want to see if I can make it a little better. So it might be a little bit contradicting with what I said, but I wanted to see what it would do. First off, this is going to build it in an artifact, and then we're going to test doing it in Claude Code on the website. Just as an FYI, I actually use Claude Code in VS Code, the extension. I do have a video on how that works here on the channel. If you really want to learn how to install that, it's very beginner guide friendly. It's very simple, takes about 3 minutes to do. And then that'll get you up to speed on how to just get that installed in your VS Code. So without further ado, let's send this prompt over. Let's see what this does. As a reference, here's my account, 0% used in this window. On Sunday, it'll reset my entire weekly limit, which is already at 32% used. My usage fluctuates based on what I'm doing, of course. You might be using a lot more than me, but I haven't been doing anything today with Claude specifically, so I want to see what this does. So I'm going to let this do its thing, and I will come back when it's finished. Just as a reference, by the way, it's actually just been looking at skills and doing a little bit more behind the scenes. It's already used 8% of my 5-hour window, and that actually resets in 4 hours and 51 minutes. So it just reset. I did not time this video with this, by the way. So if this fully maxes out, what this means is, and by the way, it's a pro plan, if you haven't noticed here, you would be locked out for 5 hours. So luckily for me, we have multiple accounts. We don't have a max plan. It's something we might do, but for the time being, we're just going to leverage what we got here. Okay, so it is now done. We've used 30% of the pro plan 5-hour window. It's quite a bit, but we now have this working site. And to be quite honest, that's kind of cool. It has moving stars in the back. It's kind of funny. And as I scroll, it's a lot more animated. Again, remember, this is referencing this site, which has similar kind of images, like the featured in. We have our product stuff here. I still haven't checked if it actually ripped the images or anything. And we have our testimonials. We have our footer. I mean, it's an okay site. It's definitely outdated because we built it back in 2021, 2022. So here it is on an actual full screen. I opened it up. It's just an HTML file too, which is hilarious. So we got no logo because I didn't give it to it. We have like a way better hero section with animations. We have this awesome featured in section, and we have the numbers moving on the actual total students, how many people we've reached, etc. All that, fancy metric stuff. And okay, it didn't pull the actual images, but like, this is pretty good. I like that little slash it does when I mouse over the actual buttons for the products. Does it actually go to their checkout pages? No, it doesn't. It goes to my computer, obviously. So this is, like, this would actually need work, obviously, but this is kind of bugged out here. So I'd have to screenshot this and ask them what they're doing with this. This is actually pretty nice. I like this. It obviously, what font is this? Yeah, it's just using like a very default font. And then what's under here? What customers have to say? I mean, this is actually, in a way, a lot better. The branding is a little different, but like, this is cool. I'm actually really impressed with this. There are things that need to be changed here, obviously. product images, company logo, the actual fonts for the site because it's using the wrong one. And obviously this is locally on my computer, so none of these links go anywhere. But smooth scrolling and animations, really nice. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go to this site. This is our Kajabi site, front facing for all of our products that are on here. We needed something that was front facing because when you use Kajabi, they give you a front facing site. And if you don't do anything with it, it just looks terrible. So we built this out, which has all of our products with different sections. And it's not that pretty, but it's okay. Similar testimonials, you know, product stuff, and that's it. I wouldn't say this is top tier. I'd say this is like D tier. You know, it's pretty rough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to screenshot this off camera. I'm going to put it into Claude as well. And I'm going to have it do the same thing for this. And I want to see what it outputs, because if it can do this for our website, then what could it do for this one? So let's see. Okay, so I did another prompt in the moment with Whisperflow. It's probably missing some context here. Just a bunch of gibberish. I wanted to just be as vocal as possible about it. You can pause and read on your own. It is what it is. Let's just see what this does. The only difference is this time I gave it the actual link URL to see if it can actually create by referencing the site, meaning sure it has the images, but I want to see if it can actually pull the actual image URLs, download them, embed them, or the link URLs, or just anything else on the site itself. From what I understand, that could be possible, but it might not be. But I do know that these tools, these LLMs, have the ability to view and read websites. So let's see what it does. Okay, let's take a look at this version. It just finished. It took about 10 minutes. And before I even show off anything else from here, like this looks really great. The usage. So we finished at 30%. This took another 22% to make this. This time it pulled images, so it pulled the logo, which I like. I mean, this doesn't look bad. This actually looks good. Now, I don't have the most eye-focused experience on spotting a lot of, I guess you could say, consistent AI website stuff, but this just looks really interesting. It still has the animated star that flies across. Let's take a look. Yep, it has our products here. It didn't rip the images, but it ripped the names. I mean, this still looks really nice. And it has some of the discount percentages on them that must have been there. It's really made a big difference on the sections too. The colors just look super nice as well. Like, they're fluid. It even redid the agency license thing we had here, and it's animated. Wow, it ripped the images from the testimonials and they hover. And the footer looks a lot better. I just want to show you one more time what this looks like without any of this. Like, this is what it looks like. Pretty boring, pretty basic. And really, it's just the product images that are keeping this together. So when you look at this, you got to admit, this is quite impressive. That's 2 pages now that I've played with, and we have another 48% to tinker with. So I'm going to find one more thing we can do. And I'm going to see if it can actually recreate it for us. Now, for one final test before I max out my 5-hour window, I want to take my wife's website, which this is built on WordPress as well, and I want to put all of this through into Fable 5 and have it remake it. Sort of looks the same, different branding, different imagery, of course. Some of these images are AI too, using our products, and I want to provide it with the link as well. What I actually did is I redid the prompt because this is a different website in regards to the branding and what it's for. It's more of a personal brand website, but it's tied to the previous one. So I'm going to send this off. Reminder that we have 48% usage left. My guess is that this will bump it up to, I'd say 85 or 90%, and then we'll be done for this window. So I'll come back when this is done. It'll probably take 8 minutes, and we'll see what it puts together. Okay, so it is now done. We reached 87% total usage in this 5-hour window. You can see the time now. It's 4 hours and 8 minutes remaining. You can see how long it's been taking me to put this together. Here it is, right here. And first off, I'm going to download this and reopen it in the browser. Okay, so just as a reference, here's what we're looking at. Darker theme site. Just a reminder what we're trying to rebuild here. Now let's see what it did. It maintained the actual header. It's using an older photo, because I probably only had access to that. The scroll's kind of on top of the links, like the buttons. They still have that kind of hover white little horizontal line on it. But I like the fact that it's using a larger font and it's all across here. I do like when you mouse over the PR, like the social proof, it stops. So that's interesting. This is a lot nicer. So if we compare that to this, a little better. Reads very well. Looking at this now. Yeah, I like this more. Everything's just animated. This is way better. Yes, these hovers. This looks so solid. I just love how it codes this. Because if we go here, sure, it has the branded colors of each different social media icon, but something just feels off. It just feels old looking. This just seems a lot more polished. And now here's the press. I pulled the images a lot better. I like the hover effects. And then we have the shop. Okay, this time it actually pulled the product images. This is great because it wasn't doing it last time. It didn't pull the AI visual system, but it pulled all the other ones, and I find that really interesting. Ooh, now that's awesome. Okay, so if we come down here, like this work with Katya is so plain and boring. Like it works, but it's just, ugh. This, though, is fancy, and I like that. Plus, the footer looks awesome, too, which it always has to. I think it's still maintaining the one from the previous site. I don't know, it's probably doing the same thing as this. It's taking the same style. Like, this bold is too bold for me. Like, something's off with the way this is built, but this just looks super nice. When you mouse over it, it just animates properly. And reminder, this is just HTML and CSS. So it's using knowledge that the other page builder that we use may not have with when you build things. But this little circular background, like the pink with the stars in the back, it's just so nice. Now, mind you, this would need a little bit more work. It's not 100% perfect. This background image is also off. Like, I would have loved it if it actually was able to pull this image or if I provided it to it, but it's a bit harder to have it do that from what it looks like. And then this scroll should be a little bit lower because, well, there actually isn't one here. I'd probably remove the scroll because I think it's quite obvious that we have to scroll. So that's it. 3 pages done. We got the first one, which basically covered our viralmarketingstars.com website. Again, super nice. I didn't give it the reference link, so maybe if I did give it that, it would pull a lot more image assets. The second version was our shop.viralmarketingstars.com, which is our Kajabi homepage on the theme that we have to have up online. So why not design it? And then let's remake it with this. This looks super nice. Again, it didn't pull the images, but obviously these aren't complicated things to do. It pulled testimonial images. It pulled the company logo. Look, the product images, I could just feed it to it, but it remade them really well. I like that. And then obviously the Katya.com personal brand. Background image here was off, but everything else looks quite nice, and a lot of it is remade a lot better, and even the fonts look way better as well. The images actually came through and loaded. Now, actually, all 4 of the product images came through. It actually loaded now, so that did work. And then this section for work with Katya looks super high-end. And I'll be honest, guys, to build a page like this with all these animations and things, it would take me probably days and a week or longer to do that, just because of the polishing and the branding and the actual design. So that's the video. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, put them below in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And looking forward to seeing you in future videos. Speak soon and have a great day.